Can I start, sir?
Yes, you can start anytime you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sam from Nile Creators, and this is our weekly update. For the team update, as designers, we've been working on refining the game mechanic and balancing it. For art, we've been working on character design and gun modeling, and tech have been working on the core game mechanics and implementing the first-person movement in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide. Okay, me as a designer, I've been working on the GDD this week. Uh, I've linked that in the slide. I'll also be working on the core charges. So right now, each energy core can support up to 3 special parts and 2 regular parts. So this is what we decided for now, but we might increase the number later on.
Mm-hmm.
I also worked on the enemy AI concept. So instead of showing the players what the enemy AI is building, I think it's better to show it in a UI form. I made a few ideas, come up with a few ideas for the enemy AI. So the
Mm-hmm.
first one is a progress bar, which is simple and direct. The
Mm-hmm.
second one, one sec. So the second one is it's something like the GIF on the slide called idea two. So the game starts and there are separate gun parts on screen. As the AI build the gun, players see something similar with the UI.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. uh, Something like the GIF. Players will know which part of the gun is being worked on, and if the AI makes an error, that specific gun part will be dismantled. Uh, that's one of the ideas. And the third idea is a gun drawing sketch. So when the game starts, the player can see a basic gun outline, and as the AI progresses, the drawing gets more complete and more details will be added. If the AI makes an error, the drawing becomes more simple and the details will be erased.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been working on this week. And for next week, I'm gonna start on the UI of the game.
Okay.
That's all for me.
Hi, I'm Chipin. For this week, what I've done is that I've started doing the GDD with Sam, and then I've also refined the gameplay loop and gameplay flow to make the game more smoother to run, and then also I've throw out some ideas and concept to implement later on, and then for my next week's task, I'll be doing level design slash refine, and then I'll also work on the enemy weakness and lore for the enemy journal for the players. Uh, yeah, that's all for me.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and what I've done last week was I have refined the base model to equal the proportion, and I've
Mm-hmm.
also started to model the first NPC character.
Mm-hmm.
And for next week, I'll refine the first character and I'll start on the second one. And that's for me.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So for this way, yeah, I complete modeling for the handgun, the different attachment and the part. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for the next week we'll continue modeling the new gun. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Alright, so hi, I'm Shenyo, and for this week, I have done the stepping mechanics. So on the right side, you can see the manager, which you can reuse for different guns and also easily add or remove parts for the programmers. So at the right side of the GIF, the top there, you can see how the gun snapping will work. So you drag and drop you just drag the parts together and it will attach to the main body.
Mm.
And for the removing mechanic, you have to tap and hold to remove the parts you want from the main body. So after you removing, you can also try to attach it back if you like to. And for my next week task, I will be improving the snapping mechanic, making it flow smoother, and also improving on the removing mechanic because right now it's not clear that which part you are removing. So it will be refining more on the UI side.
Mm.
Like such as adding an outline or adding a timer. That's
Okay.
all for me.
Okay.
Alright, hi, I'm Junjie. So what I did for last week is I've been testing out the enemy AI. So uh it's made up out of probability based, so that it will have a few percentages of having errors, and he will spend up most of the time just not moving, and a few percentage of moving. It's a bit of hard coded, so it's not that efficient right now. So next week I will try to improve it. Yep.
Mm. Okay.
Hi, Saizi. What I've done this week is added a criteria mechanic, which you can see in the GIF. So I made it that the criterias won't be repeated, and also the criteria detection, which when you connect a part, it will detect if the criteria is met. And what I've also done is added a SWOT detection for the QTE mechanic, which will detect either swipe right, left, up, or down. And for next week, I will improve the criteria mechanic. That's all.
Okay, hi, I'm Jane, and for this week, I've done the interactive level selection scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and play the video so that you guys can look at this. Basically, it's a first person control where you use the left side of the screen to move your player and right side of the screen to rotate the player's camera view.
Mm.
And you can talk to the NPC in the level selection scene, and uh, the challenge UI will pop up when you talk to the NPC, and you get to choose whether you want to accept or reject that challenge. And every NPC will lead you to a different gameplay scene. So it's like technically selecting level in that by talking to different NPC.
Mm.
So for next week, I will add on to this scene by adding joystick, since now there's no joystick, and it's a bit hard to know that which direction is the player going. So there should be a visual indicator for that, and also add gravity and jumping to provide more interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it from our group. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all right. Okay. Let's go to the design slides. Mm. Okay. So mostly working on the GDD, and you have the core changes. Yeah, the three special parts and the regular parts. Okay. Next week you are doing all the UI layouts or part of it.
Not all of it, sir.
Oh, okay. So which part? So please indicate which part. I mean, which screens and how many UI layouts you'll be working on next week, lah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the gun. Okay. It's going to be filled up. Okay. Um. Okay. Uh. For the fill up mechanic, do you want to do the color just filling up, or do you want to show like the gun part actually fill up as the gun get completed?
The gun part getting filling up, not just the colors.
Not just a color lah, not a
Yeah.
color filling up lah. So let's say if he put in the barrel, then the barrel part get filled up to show that that is completed already lah. Correct.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Then that will be a lot more interesting for the player lah. Okay. And the sketch is basically according to the different type of guns lah, that your guys are fixing at that time. Correct.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Thanks. Next. Mm. ADD also. Find gameplay loop. Game flow. Okay, for next week, you say you're going to refine the level design. How are you going to refine the level design? Since there's no actual level, it's just set on data.
I would like to. What I would like to do is to like I think make the game flow more like like refine more of the game level. I think like how it would play out and then the scenarios and stuff.
I see. Okay, all right. So it's more on yeah, yeah, it's the level design. Okay, cool. Thank you. Next. Oh, that's all. All right. Thank you very much. Good job. Decent progress. On the design side. So I think things is going to continue on like this. Lah. All right. Cool. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay. Um, regarding a character, the modeling, just double confirm with you, all the character, the base, the body is the same, right?
Most probably the same.
Most probably the same. If it doesn't same means is it need require to require having a different texture on it? Or,
Uh, I either just change the size of the body a bit or probably different texture also.
okay. Uh, I think the body is fine after you refine. It's definitely better than the previous one. So now you've done the first character, but the only problem from you is I would say is a polygon. The space is the style you want. It's something like this, which is very broadly non smoothing groove. Is it this kind of style is you want to achieve?
I'll check with the designer and see how.
Okay, because because uh if this one is not the style you want, that means it's very hard for me to give judgment on it. Is the surface or the polygon is it good to proceed or not? I don't know because now what I can see is, oh yeah, maybe you go for low poly style. If it's no, then that means your polygon your modeling got problem because all the surface everything is feel like very uh, uneven, and also some of the thickness problem. So you can see the upper body of the character feel like a bit over thin, these kind of things. I think you better fix your style first
Mm,
before you proceed on it. Okay.
okay.
The modeling everything, yes, you already done. Okay, regard for your first character. Um, but due to you haven't confirmed the things yet, it's very hard for you to start the second one because if you start the second one, then you almost finish the body, then you only decide what kind of style are you go for. But if this is different with the previous one, what you did, that means you need to redo. Don't waste your time, I would say. Just
Mm,
confirm one thing first. Actually, the first thing you need to do is confirm your style. Is what you want to achieve. Okay.
okay.
I and I will suggest you next week for your updates. Um, other than you put the character, just showing what you model, put a reference image on beside to show me what kind of style you want to achieve.
Okay.
Okay, I want to do I want to see the comparison and to knowing are you able to achieve that kind of result.
Okay.
Okay, okay, next one. Yeah, I think for this two way you've done a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Locally everything polygon is all the polygon is quite well built. Um, surface is clean. Okay, I think I have not much comment on it. Overall, this one is pretty good job. Okay,
Okay.
keep it up.
Thank
Are
you.
you going to do a texturing for it, or you just apply the simple material?
Uh, for texture, maybe text of normal map.
Normal map for what? normal map for which part?
Like maybe like which part lah? like like the whole part, and then yeah, I try to figure out first because yeah, most I need to build build the ba- build the basic surface first.
Okay. Okay, you proceed first. You proceed first. If anything not sure, you come and ask me.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. I think is it that's all? Yeah, that's all for me. Okay, thank you.
Uh, tag looks pretty solid. So this one I have nothing much to feedback. Um, what I would suggest is you can try to have like the guns to be different guns that are scriptable object lah. This can be a nice to have to improve over it so that you don't need to like crowded one script to be very huge variables. But overall this is a good progress. Next one. This one is okay, but yeah, you mentioned you use a bit of hard code, so um, I'm not really sure like how hard code it is. Is it just the range or how? So um, I need to probably see more lah. But I like how the UI are being displayed, but this is not the intended UI, right? Where the intended UI is based on parts, is it?
Yeah, no, it's just to show that it's actually moving the progress.
Okay,
It's not
okay,
the final one. Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay, next one. Uh, what is a criteria mechanic?
Hmm?
What's the criteria mechanic? How what in details can you
Oh,
explain a bit?
so I created a class called criteria which has string name and integer number, which the string name will contain the criteria, which will be like a sniper stock or shotgun
Oh,
stock.
okay, I see. All right. Um, then the QTE is for which one? For shooting or for assembling?
Is for with design discuss is for assembling.
For who? The player?
Yeah, the player.
But okay. So basically, when he attach the parts, he needs to go through the QTE to do the
Yeah.
attachment. I see. Um, okay, that works. Another thing that I'm not really understand is that why this QTE you need to do a swipe instead of just a tap.
Um, Maybe like when you, I'm not sure if the design wants to tap or swipe. I think like maybe when you connecting, it's like you connect from the left, so you need to swipe left.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, interesting. All right. Next one. Jane's. This is okay. I mean, like very good progress. You have like all the videos shown how it controls. I like how you do the joystick cameras and stuff. Um, yeah, solid progress. So nothing much need to feedback. Um, yeah. Okay, so I think this one is good. Okay, so that's all my feedback lah.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sis.
Sorry, having problem with my mouse. Okay, thank you very much. Good progress on your side. Can the next team start?
Javelin.
Mid.
Yeah, Javelin.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm finding my screen.
You can start when you're ready.
Right. Good afternoon to all lecturers and my friends, and we are from ID10T, and this is our team members, and I'll pass the slide to next presenter lah. Sorry, wait. Our main updates for this week is basically we have progress on level 2, 3, 4, progress on props, and also progress on the tech lah. Yeah, it's basically the summary of this week lah. All right, I'll pass it to Jude then. Thank you.
Okay.
Dude, we can't hear your volume.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming out. Yeah.
I,
Miss
com-
Lloyd.
I completely forgot the mute. Sorry. Okay. Okay, let's start again. Okay, my name is Joe Robertson. For this week, I have done. I have complete level 3 and level 4 layout. I also did the level 4 puzzle, and I also organized design meetings. We have designers. We have our own meetings. And as for next week, we will do like a level 5 discussion meeting and what you need to do for level 5. And finally, I will complete level 4 puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all for me. I'll pass it forward to the next presenter. Again.
Hi, I'm Magad. I'm one of the designers, and for this past week, I worked on level 2. So I did the layout there, and then I worked on the puzzle. So one of the puzzles is complete, but for our game, we wanted each level to have multiple solutions, so basically multiple puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
So the main puzzle is complete, but the other one is not yet. And then I worked on the document for level 2. Also, I updated our design schedule, which is like a Gantt chart, like, very different.
Okay.
So for next week, I'll be finishing the level two puzzle, and then I'll start working on the narrative elements. So things like notes that you can find around levels to tell you more about the Seawalker. Then we test if the build is made. That's all for me.
Hello. My name is Fidaus. For this week I will work for the puzzle level 3, the puzzle and the path itself, and also in the picture, you also can see the radius for the sound for the thing, the radius for not streetwalker to walk into. So there will be like a clue. Also have puzzle in there. Yeah, there is a clue. Like triangle is a toy placement where it will be appear in the middle of the living room, like as in the picture. And the blue one is the clue where the player needs to find the clue in there. They need to find the clue. Okay, that's all for this week. And for next week, I will discussing about level 5 puzzle and parting with other designers as well, and improvise the level 3 if needed. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vincent, and for this week, I'm doing the animation for like only one of the characters, and for the next week, I'll be continue on doing the next 4 characters. Yeah, that's all.
Testing.
Yep.
Hello, I'm Arigin. I'm from art, and for this week I have finished the TV and sofa texture, and I also update the wall. Uh, I also have done the kitchen model, which is the counter, the racks, the stove, and the fridge. For next week, I will do the piano and the speaker, and also I will do the living room for level 1. That's all.
Hi, my name is Junli. For this week, for last week progress, I did the colors for the big texture. Actually, I rearranged to make it look better and basically add the simple colors. I also chamfered the matches a bit to make it more realistic. And I also did the matchbox with the matchsticks as well as doing the wardrobe and shoebox and tissue box. For the next week, for I will still continue on the bedroom furniture, which is a table and a chair for the study area, which I actually haven't done yet, finished yet. And I also will be doing a standing fan for as a main prop for level two. And that is all from me. I'll pass it to the next presenter.
Hello, testing. My name is Muhammad Ramshah, and I'm the tech lead. So for this week, I have done the light switches and spawning the key in 3 random locations. And for next week, I'll be implementing our levels into the phones, and I'll be polishing the level 1 mechanics. So I can play the video. Hmm. Why? Yes. So this is spawning in the 3 random locations. And the second one will be the interactions with the light. And that's all from me. I'll pass it on to Brian Po.
Hello. Hi, I'm Brian. What I've done is the prop interactions. So now when the players click on the camera button, the props are not interactable like that. And when they press environment button, it's interactable again. So what I'll be doing next week will be a whole button function that was requested by the design, a double tap, and all those interaction with the screen from the players. And I'll pass it on to the next one.
John.
Jonathan, go ahead.
You're muted, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. John.
10 second. Forgot to turn on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, my name is Jonathan. So this week, last week was doing the free roam camera, and as we actually find out some problem after we testing, so we changed it into some kind like a first person camera. So yeah, it's exactly look like a free like a first person shooter kind of camera view. And then for the camera itself, we make the camera clamp for the 90-degree and also negative 90-degree. So where uh, the player couldn't like look all the way back or all the way down. So it will maximum on you can look at his feet, although you can't look at his feet, but you can look at the you can look at the floor and also the sky. And then for the camera movement, is using FPS movement as well. And then we also have the camera boundary where you can pass by some kind of certain walls. And that's basically it. And then also although I didn't put it into Android to test out, but everything is supposed to work fine in Android. I mean for the you can see my mouse, if I'm not clicking it, it will move. The camera angle it will move. Only when I click it, only it will move. And then next week I'll be putting in the camera joystick to control everything, and also put in merge together with what Sparent did for the swap between camera and environment thingy. You start to merge everything together, and that's about it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey, also known as Cat. So what I did last week was almost the same thing, but last week Nav Mesh, my Sleepwalker couldn't couldn't go to multiple places. So now I created a list for it, and it is able to go to multiple places. But there's one thing that I'm still currently doing, which is trying to find a way to make the sleepwalker attracted to the light. Um, but I couldn't figure it out yet, so still doing. So yeah, hopefully next week if I finish this task, I'll be starting to do all the UIs lah, from the menu to the credits lah, basically. Yeah. So that's about it. Thank you. Yeah. Any
Okay.
question? Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the design slide. Okay. Main thing I want to ask is, so next week you'll start doing the blockouts of the levels, right? The actual levels. Will you be implementing the levels next week? Or
Yeah.
okay, so next week we should be able to see uh at least one level functioning lah. Okay, right? Hello.
Hello, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Am I muted again?
No, you're not muted.
Okay.
Okay. So next week can we see one level put in, especially with the artworks or the furnitures and everything? Can we have a block out of
Uh,
the level ready?
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
that's
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Can.
Because you need to be able to put in by next week already, otherwise you'll be very delayed, because
All
you'll
right.
need to test. And I think at this current rate, sorry, uh you might have a bit of a scaling problem in your levels, where some of your levels is going to look so very big and very empty. So I would like you to actually uh really start putting the levels together uh in the game itself, so that you can actually see how the levels actually look like in the game currently. Okay, Ken? Yeah. Because if
Okay.
you delay anymore, you don't put the levels together by next week, you may be very delayed on a lot of things. Okay, cool. All right, thanks. Next person. All right. Okay, good progress. Okay, next. Breakdowns. Mostly working on the puzzles. Yeah. All right. Uh, Puzzle mechanics, is it already done and implemented?
Not yet.
Not yet,
Implement
right?
in, yeah, not yet, not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just want to know. Yeah. So make sure the level is actually built. A block out of the level is built lah, and then try and put in as many things as possible from both the art and tech. Okay. And test it out.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Next. Oh, okay. Okay. Decent progress. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay. Uh, for you, uh, I would say crystal is okay before animation. Okay. Okay, but before that, I would like to ask, is your character the the style, the design, and what kind of texture are you going to put in? Are you already decide already?
For the character, I think I'll going for like this kind of character. It's like I don't have like the last week one, like we got the dress and all this kind. It's like something like Minecraft. Yeah. And yeah.
Okay, okay, just like because just now I saw those comparisons of props inside. I would say if yours PM it doesn't having those shader shader to support. It will not create that blank. Okay, so that's why I would say no matter how your character, it can maybe you can detail on top. Okay. Let's say example, shirt having some having one yellow line there. At least decorate it a little bit. Don't only don't make it overly flat and blank like this because nothing to see boring. I believe that one is okay. And for next week, you are going to do sleep, wake up animations. But you already did the wake up and sleep, right?
Yep.
This next week only showing the animation
For all the character.
for the
Yeah.
but I think it's too less already. You should show more. With this kind of animation, it shouldn't be very it shouldn't hard to do the animation for because your body doesn't have any polygon blending. You just got the hand and the leg back. Are you?
Yep.
Yes. That one should be fast. Okay, too less already. I want to see more. Okay, next. Yes, as I said just now, your sofa and TV with texture. What is the difference between with texture and without texture? Hello?
Origin.
Origin. Sir, maybe can you repeat the question?
What is the difference between with texture and without texture?
Without texture. With texture or without texture? He's asking what's the
Yes.
difference between
Because now you are showing is with texture, right? The sofa and TV.
Sofa and TV with texture, yeah.
Yes. Even though now I remove the texture, I just put a blank material inside, flat material inside. What is the difference between them? Why you want to why you want to waste your time to create a texture for it, even though it's just flat color? Okay, it's no point for you to wasting this kind of texture resource on this kind of texture. If you want to do texture, please at least make something detail on top. It's it's too flat already. It's nothing to show totally.
Texture as in pattern, is it, sir?
Okay, I just let you know if this one your model put inside your engine, your Unity. Have you put inside now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say example, the table. If the table and the TV, if you just put inside the your engine, it definitely will look flat one because no detail on top. Okay. And also, even though you put in the lighting, there's no shading between the from different directions. Okay. If you want to do this kind of texture, at least based on the direction, maybe the top part of the model itself, maybe you can change the color to be brighter a little bit. At least people look at it, it will feel like it have some light source on top, and it cause the texture you having some variations on the model itself. Because now you put in it just flat. It's, it doesn't look nice.
Understand. Okay.
Alright.
Okay,
Understood.
especially your sofa.
Yeah.
A full white material in such a big prop, and you put it in. What kind of detail are you expect?
Okay, so for example, like for the sofa, right? What do you actually want to see from it, sir? Like,
At least, okay. Of course, if you can, the surface detail. If you want to put some pattern, yes, you can do it. But at least I want to see if you're able to put into engine. I want to see the shading different. If you're able to the shading different, which is it's not totally full white. Later I send you some reference, which is even though you put in when you put in lighting, it custom different type of color on your model from different directions. I want to see that because I can imagine after you put this in, nothing to see one. It's it's a it's a full blank color.
Yeah, I think what Mr. Sir is saying, it looks like a solid color, like just
It's
one
yes,
color.
it's solid. Even though you pick the light, you pick the light max, it probably will just add the AO surrounding it. It doesn't help much. I'm not really sure you want to pick or not. That one I'm not sure. What kind of direction are you going to go for? So that's why I always say, do you have a what kind of art style are you want to achieve? Do you have it? Do you have a art style guide for you all following it? Do you have it?
Is the low poly considered?
The low poly is just modeling style. For now, is the art style, the actual, the color palette, this kind of style. Do you have it?
Vincent, are you there? I'm really not sure about the.
Can the artist answer me? Or do you have an image? Do you have an image beside put aside your screen and telling yourself you want to achieve this kind of style? Do you have it? Hello, Vincent?
Um,
Do you have the image? It's a made style guide for you. You want to follow and you want to achieve. Do you have this kind of image?
like, if, sorry,
Hello?
if I'm not mistaken, I think we are following like the Kampong Asta, and that all should be like,
Kampong Asal is
yeah,
those model the thing you want to do, right?
uh-huh.
Kampong Asal. I means the art, the color, modeling, the overall the art direction. Do you have it?
I think no.
Then what is the thing to guide your team to work? You don't know. You just like I done the model, I embed texture, then I pass to programmer, I put into engine, put the lighting, pick the light max, and you are done. But the it doesn't work in this way because you have no direction what you want to do. Okay. Okay. For now, I would say you go discuss within your team. Okay, what kind of outcome you want to achieve? Direction. What direction you want to go for? And next week, I want to see when you put your image here. I want you to put a reference image is your update, and you're telling me, okay, my artwork, I want to go for this kind of stuff. So that's why I decided to use this kind of workflow. Wait, am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay. I I it's already GPS2. Okay, I don't want to see those artwork which is no direction. It's just because of you want to do modeling and you want to do texture, then you just do it. Okay, I don't want to see this kind of things. Okay. With this kind of artwork nowadays, go out find too many artists can do already. There's no you it doesn't help you to bring your portfolio. You're just wasting your time. This kind of props, this kind of modeling. Simple, too normal. Okay, next slide. Yeah, it's the same. The bed, you print screen from where?
It's from the 3D plane.
I believe I mentioned before all the artwork, the final result is based on Unity. No matter how nice the render from any software, you're having any night, you have a super nice arrow or what, it doesn't matter. Because if you put inside Unity, if it suck, then it's bad. Okay? Because I believe the shaded inside Unity is a bit different with this one. Okay, no point to doing rendering in other software. Even though in 3ds Max, it's waste your time only. Because you're not going to do the final render inside 3ds Max. You're going to put the props inside Unity to show the as a prop, and the result you will show inside the game. There's no point for you to doing it, waste your time only. And same things regarding your texture. If I'm not mistaken, it's a flat texture, right?
It's a flat ambient color.
Flat ambient color. Is it the? But this one is the style is different with the previous one. I really think you guys should go having a discussion on what kind of theme are you, what kind of texture style you want to go for. Harsh shadow, harsh shading, these kind of things. Please come with a standard one. Yeah, I think that's all for your team. I I have not much feedback on it.
Okay. I want to know, what's the main implementation you have added for this, aside from spawn in 3 random locations. What do you do for light switches?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep. So for the light switches, right, it's
Mm-hmm.
to allow the sleepwalker to. Well, one of our puzzles is actually regarding the sleepwalker. He's attracted to light. So when we guide the sleepwalker, the player will have to interact with certain light switches. So those light will be the one that guides the player.
Is that implemented?
Uh, that's where we are working with Cat. So since Cat's one is like progressing at a, there was some setback, so we are progressing quite slowly on that part, lah, sir. And it's not
Okay.
implemented yet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm more curious. Like, did you add like any custom shaders for your light switches, or this is just basic point light?
I'm afraid it's very basic, sir.
Okay.
I'll have to polish this up later on.
Yeah, I mean like, do you just add a point light there, enable and disable?
Yes, sir.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Next one. Can I go to the next slide? Yeah, this is super basic. Like, I will say this is literally like at max 2 30 minutes job. You just switch 2 states only, and then this is 1 week's worth. I expect more lah. Can I go to the next one? Okay. I can see this slightly more things, but uh, I have a very confusing things like when during the pitch, this was being shown as like a top-down guiding mechanic. Is this being discussed to be a game in first-person mode already?
So, sorry, sir. Actually, this one, Jonathan, you want to explain?
Okay, so I knew that last time when we are doing pitch, it's doing something like top down, right?
Mm.
But then because after we discuss in our meeting, we come out to have a better to keep the puzzle and everything uh how to say, to keep the buzz no, because like previously if you are using four angles or maybe free roam camera, the player will be able to see the whole map, so this will break down the balance for the puzzle. So that's why after we have to discuss with
Mm-hmm.
our design team, and then we found that using this first person camera will be better for the for the player to solve the puzzle lah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, because if uh look back to Brian, the mechanic that Brian implemented. So just imagine if what if the the player just like zoom out all the way out, then the fella can interact with all every props at the same time lah. So they will also somehow break the balance. So that's why we need to discuss.
Okay. You might want to try to combine his to yours so that
Yes.
you know how the control works, and then you need to test on phone lah.
Yes. All right. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what we're gonna do next week lah.
Camera clamp. This is what? Look up and down clamp. Is it?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Next one. Um, Jeff. Primitive mesh. Is it this last week's implementation?
No, sir. So last week, basically, I can already start to put like multiple
Uh.
location, and turns out I can't, and I can only put like two location. The code was only for two, so, and then I was like having trouble doing the list because I don't really know how to do. And
Okay.
then yeah, I was trying to do that, and then I have to implement the second point, which is what Chip was doing lah. So
Mm.
whenever Chip open the light, the slow worker should be attracted to it. But then I just couldn't figure things out lah. Yeah, but
Okay.
I trying to do lah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like you know what you need to fix, so that's okay. Yeah. There's a few ways but I, it depends on how you want to implement it. So yeah, you go and try to figure out first.
Right.
All right. Okay. So far, I mean, yeah, you guys want to try on the phone really soon lah, if
Yeah.
possible. Especially the camera stuff. It the whole game becomes very different from the pitch since it's first person mode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's all my
Thank you.
feedback.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So overall, I think you guys to also talk more to each other and get more better directions. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Can the third team is the third team ready?
Yep, yep. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Okay. Stop feeding studios.
So do let me know if it's working or not.
Yep.
All good?
Yep.
Okay.
See.
I'll go ahead and begin then. Alright. So good morning. We are Stop Feeding Studios, Team 2. And I'm Bang Chen Sheng. I'll be presenting for today. So first off, the group update slides. So for design, we kind of did a total team change. So the previous one was based on like mental disorders like anxiety, depression, this kind of thing. But what we changed is we changed it to sort of more a different kind of mental stuff lah. So the seven sins, so lust, greed, wrath, this kind of thing. This is because we feel that anxiety, depression is a bit more hard to visualize, especially in terms of menopause. So this last one kind of help make it more easier lah to visualize and to design on. Right. So that aside, we've also refined the details of the AI pathing and the combat in general.
Okay.
We've also made issues issues and checklist documents for checking purposes. So any questions for the redesigners have, we put it down here.
Okay.
And art, because we did the theme change, so they're kind of tweaking around a bit lah, their designs based on our theme change, so theme and aesthetic change. They are, yeah, so like I mentioned before, they are continue refining their older models based on this, and then we can begin to make new models. For the tech, they'll be preparing a showcase level. Showcase level, which is basically you have everything we have so far lah, for the tech, so the AI, basic AIs, and the art assets, some art assets. We'll be working on improving our unit behavior and pathing, also experimenting with the camera angles, so like panning around, zoom in, zoom out, and maybe snapping to certain angles. I'll move on to my personal stuff.
Sorry, Xiancheng, maybe you want to pull up the questions and
Your
considerations document just quickly. Yeah.
Okay, I'll show that real quick lah. Yeah, this is the document we have. So basically, different categories lah, and all the questions and solutions, some notes in there.
Okay. These are questions and solutions for what actually?
For basically any problems lah that we designers.
Okay. Your bugs and issues. Okay.
Yeah, mostly design stuff lah.
All right.
Right, thanks Max for that reminder, Larry. Okay, now for my personal one. So I was mainly in charge of the nanobots and viruses, so their behaviors and skills. So because we kind of changed the theme, so I kind of redesigned it a bit based on our current theme. Also, the old behavior would work so well with this new theme. And then we also have a simple mana based system for enemies and nanobot skills. Because ours is an auto battler, so it really makes sense for skills to activate automatically. Right? So a simple mana based system, like the more hits they do to an opponent, they get more mana. When it's full, it automatically uses. Simple. Right. So nanobots, yeah, I kind of fleshed out their new behaviors, the skills, upgrades, stats, price, those kind of things. So we'll be working on tweaking them as needed. But for the most part, it's fleshed out, I would say. And the enemy towers and viruses. Okay, so towers. So towers, I fleshed out their basic behaviors, approximate spawn rate, right? How often their role, their effects, their status, of course, based on the new team. So one thing to note is that, as I mentioned before, we're going with the 7 sins, right? So the towers, they'll have that negative aspect. We call it the wise. So there'll be wise towers. So the last tower, a rough tower, a greed tower. And the nanobots will be the opposite. So it's the virtues. So maybe kindness, nanobot, pride, not pride, kindness, humility, patience, nanobot. So it's the opposite. For viruses, so initially we had our original concept was like the depression tower was spawn depression viruses. But one thing we found was that it was very limiting in a sense. There's some problems. So we kind of going for a general universal virus types. So only the towers and the nanobots will correspond to the team. Or the viruses the small viruses soldiers that come out is more general universal among the towers. So I've kind of fleshed out a bit the roles and everything for the first 3 types of viruses. And also how they spawn, the universal thing. So let's see some images on the side. Basically my document, where I have all my research and where I flesh things out. So link is here. So yeah, for this week, I'll be refining my nanobot stuff, also updating the game design document based on everything we have. Just keep it updated. Okay, I'll move on to Max.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Genjin. So I'm the design lead, and what I've done for this week is that I've made a new pathing / input scheme for the nanobots. There's a standalone document that documents all of this more in detail. Maybe potentially you can take that up real quick.
Okay.
Actually, you don't have to show the specific documents. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then essentially you can go back to the slides.
Yeah, just to
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so actually this why I made this new pathing scheme is to solve the problem we had last time where if we were going for just how to say like the AI, the movement of the nanobots and the viruses, they are fully dependent on the AI. What will happen is that the player will have a lot less agency in terms of choosing the movement of these units. Sorry, and then the game will become sort of like a RTS auto battler, which is what we originally designed for. But I just came out with this design to see if we can do something more interesting with it, lah. So if you recall, our original core gameplay is centers around like a very like combat simulation type of gameplay, right? So the player doesn't do anything, and the nanobots and the virus they fight it out automatically. So what I've added here is that I've added a sort of like a overmap kind of level. So the level is not only just a battlefield for them to fight it out, but it is also part of the gameplay wherein the player will have to control the movements of the nanobots as they move into the map. So instead of automatically pathing to the objective or the tower, right? The player can now swipe to change the direction of the nanobots when they are moving. So at the start of the process, the player will have to select the starting direction of the party, and after they finalize that direction, they will start moving. So the party will always be perpetually advancing. So they won't stop for any other reason other than the level being completed. The player will be able to swipe left and right to change its direction. So as you can see on the right, there's like just a simple graphical representation of that. The first one is where the player will choose the starting direction, so there'll be like a pop-up UI where you're able to tap on the direction that you want. So the direction is not free. It's like it's determined by the angle of the hexagon that you're moving in. So like as the hexagon has six sides, right? So they will only move in those six angles of direction. You won't be able to like freely move uh, like a normal movement lah. So for the second step, that one is just to show the nanobot party will always be advancing lah. And the third one is the UI, which will pop up to show you where the direction the nanobot party is moving in. For the fourth one is just to show if you swipe left and right, that direction will change along with the UI. So what this provides to the game is that no longer you only have to think of the composition of the nanobots themselves, because previously if you didn't have any agency in the way they move, it will only be thinking about the composition that matters. So it's more of like a strategic planning kind of gameplay lah. But with this movement scheme, this input scheme, you also need to think about like on the fly tactics as well, because you'll be controlling the movement of the nanobots before they encounter the viruses. So the viruses will also be on the map, but they will be moving of their own accord lah. So the player will move the nanobot party in the direction that they deem the most efficient, whether it is to fight the nanobots or run away from fight the viruses or run away from the viruses. So for my upcoming work, I'll be testing the playable demo which we plan to finish by next week, as well as the overmap and combat simulation aspects of the game. I'll also be updating the LDD, which I've started on a simple version there, which the link is in the slides as well at the bottom, as well as designing some terrain and tower effects for the game. Yeah, and that's it for me.
Moving on. If
Yeah.
You hear me right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what I've done previous week was worked on touched up a little bit more on the friendly and enemy AI units, which is the AI navigation and also the interaction. You can play the video, Max, to see it. So basically, there's the blue one is the friendly and the yellow one is the enemy unit. So it moves to the closest target they find, which is only they only like target the opposing teams. Like it will target the enemy, and the enemy will target the friendly. And whenever any of it is gone or destroyed or killed or whatever, it will proceed to find another one closest to them. So it's updating. It's a updating uh, it's updated lah, the navigation, and also it will stop whenever it is in range and start attacking. And next week I will for yeah next week I'll be working on the friendly and enemy units health system, which also includes a fighting system where they actually can deal damage and can reduce the health of the enemy or each other, and also finish a working prototype on the game, so to show the actual game as a whole, or like the basic game design, the basic fundamentals of the game, just to show that in a maybe in a build or maybe just inside Unity. Yep.
Right,
That's
move
all.
on. PEP?
Hello? So, can you guys hear me?
Yep, can.
Okay, so for this week, what I've done is I created a spawn system for like the things that the units are supposed to spawn on. If you play the first video, so basically, if it's on a normal terrain and then you press and hold, and then after you release, you get a let's say like a hex for the units to spawn on. I haven't done the thing where if you press and hold and you move around, there's a preview for it, and also the where it snaps onto a certain hex. I'll work on that next week also. But right now, this is what I have, and also I also did the two finger camera panning for the for the camera lah, basically. So you use two fingers to pan wherever you want. Can you play the video? It's not smooth now because I've used two fingers, but I think I'll need to work on it so that if I use one finger on, let's say, on the background, then only you can like switch you can pan the camera around. Also for the hexes, I made a spawn limit for it. So like let's say if you go over, if you already spawn like two spawn hexes down, you cannot spawn anymore on a certain tile. Yeah, and for the upcoming next week, I'll mostly be doing like a resource system. Let's say the unit cost, and also basically the shop system for the units and also try to improve on the spawn system a bit more, and also the camera panning, while also working on the prototype with Alif. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello. Yep.
Yep, can hear.
So hi, I'm Kang Wei. So for this week, what I done is the tile generation for base level. Basically, the red tile and the blue tile will be randomly generated at a different position, as well as some effect for the hexagon tiles, which is the integration and as well as the light effect lah. And for next week, I will work on prototype as well and polish the base level lor. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Owen. This week I have done a working upgrade menu that adds the stat lah, and I also compose everyone work to a single level. So for next week I will just apply the stats and menu to the whole build. That's all.
Play your video.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, so this is kind of the showcase build we have. Playable demo. Not playable, showcase demo. Combining what everyone has done.
I think you should full screen here. It's a little small.
Sorry, shitty net. So basically, Conway's map, Alif's AI, and DBP's spawning also. Yeah, DBP spawning. Yep, thank you. I'll move on to the part. Okay, Kito.
So hi everyone, I'm Kito and I'm the ARC lead. So basically what have I done last week is find reference rate to our new games team and also design out the new idea. And also I model out and refine two design of cell tower. As you can see on the right side, there's two model. We try to fit it, we try to put the sci-fi futuristic and also the terrible element to fit in our new game theme. And below is the concept idea, and the left side is the reference on how to do the skeleton modeling and the tutorial. And for the upcoming this week, I'm going to start working on the 3D game environment and also design more cell tower. And that's all for me. Gawe here. And I will present for Gawe.
Okay.
Okay. So for Gawe, what he has done for last week is getting more idea of new concept for the game, found reference and drew and model the ideas. And the left side is the reference that I mentioned before, having some sci-fi, futuristic, and terrible element. And the right side is the sketch and also the model. So for what he going to do next week is generate more idea and also try to model out more of them. And that's all for him.
Okay.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Alright, hi, my name is Afe. What I did for this week, I sort of, with the change of theme to our game, which is the Seven Deadly Sins, along with the Seven Heavenly Virtues. So I was in charge of doing the nanobots, following the theme of the Seven Heavenly Virtues. So I was informed to make three different concepts of uh, the virtues, the heavenly virtues. One of them is being humility. The other two is patience and diligence. Fortunately, I don't have those other two as of now due to some PC hardware technical difficulties during the weekend. So I managed to sort of create the just one concept for humility. So I had to sort of find new references and refer to some old references to sort of design the new nanobot humility. And so the role of this nanobot is a melee nanobot, and it's basically like generalist DPS, soldier type of nanobot lah. So with the features I sort of designed here, I sort of went for a plasma blade as a weapon for each both arms. With its design is a very sort of separated feature type of design robot lah. So the arms are floating, the legs are floating, and the torso and the head is floating also lah. So down there you can see is also the plasma blade in the top view, so you can get a better angle. Look at it. There's like the blade design, and by right, I should actually supposed to make the model of this, but like I said, due to some technical difficulties, I couldn't get it in. But for this week, I'll be working on the design concepts for the other two nanobots, patience and diligence. And from there, once we finally get those designs, I'll start actually modeling those designs lah in 3ds Max. Alright, that's it from me.
Thank you. And yeah, that's it from us.
Okay, thank you. Can we go to the design slides?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Concept wise, you guys are shifting to the deadly sins and the virtues, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is it the, because I got a bit confused just now. You said the towers were sins and uh,
Yeah. Towers are the
virtues.
sins, nanobots are the virtues. So good versus evil.
Oh, okay. So the enemy towers are the sins lah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, and then do you need to use the right nanobots against the right sins? In
Alright.
other words, use
So
the right virtue.
what we had last time was like a direct counter, right? Like fire versus water.
Mm-hmm.
But that might cause some problems, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
because we have one problem with kindness versus wrath, right? Kindness is more of a healer, but how are you gonna use a healer to defeat the tower? If not, then you kind of lose the advantage. So, and then same problem with the tank and everything.
Yeah.
So we still have an advantage, but it's more in their terms of their behavior, not a direct advantage
I
like
see.
damage.
Okay. All right. So it's not a direct counter lah to the one,
Yeah,
but it is a hint towards the behavior pattern of how the
behavior pattern.
units
Yeah.
will move will actually affect lah. Okay. So how will the scenes on the towers be reflected? I mean, is it the ability or
Ability is one thing, and
right?
also yeah, the art lah, and yeah, maybe effects lah. So for raft, maybe you can have a lot of fire. We're thinking tower, lava tiles on the map also.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes,
I
thought of
see.
it.
All right. So are you going to be making 7 towers and 7 units?
Depends, because for now we're doing with three first lah, the basic. So three virtues representing like the soldier, the tank, and the long range. And once we have these, then we slowly start to expand.
Okay.
Behavior wise, I have seven lah, but assets wise, we'll start with three first, just to be safe.
Okay. All right. So design, you're going to design 7, but whether you implement all 7 game is different.
Ah,
Is something else. Okay.
yeah.
So you have to make sure that your design has 7. Gonna feel very half done. Does that make sense? Okay. So that will be the problem with using the 7 scenes and 7. You need to flesh out the design for everything, but for your demo, your vertical slice and demo, you don't have to implement all 7 of them. Okay. All right. But the design needs to be there. All right. Cool. Okay. Okay, I want to know a little bit more on wiping to change direction. How exactly does that work actually? Because I don't see how.
Uh, yeah. So the basically the nanobot party, right? What that means is that they are all a group lah. So
Yeah.
they won't have different movement speeds. The individual nanobots they move as a group, and they will be always moving. So when they cross from one hex to the other,
Mm-hmm.
you can change the side of the hexagon that you're facing.
Oh,
Along that
okay.
direction. Yeah.
Okay, do you have to one by one from, I mean, you're facing this hexagon, you can only switch to the side that is next to it and then next to it. Or can you switch directly to
That side, right? That specific side.
yeah, that specific side?
Yeah. So we were thinking either that or we have like so instead of just only left right swipes, there could be like a up down swipe, which instead of going side to side, you go like your opposite side, right? And then they can use that to switch faster lah.
Okay. I think you might want to have a test of this first because your hexagon is going to be really small. Okay, and your accuracy on a phone is not going to be very high. So you might be swiping in the wrong direction or detecting that is not going to go in the right direction if that's the case. So you might want to relook at that lah. Okay, and remember that this is for a mobile game, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks. Can we go to the next one? Oh, tag already.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
That's all. Thank you. Good job, actually.
Thanks.
Good progress.
Uh, yeah. Can I have a look at the tech part? Overall looks very solid. The whole team, you guys managed to integrate everyone's work into it. Uh, Actually, I don't have much feedback because like the visual give like really good feedback. Like everything looks working together. Can I go to one slide up? Two fingers panning. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Next one. Hexagonal procedural. Yeah, it's okay. What do you procedural for it? Like, do you just position it or it has like height difference?
I don't think it has the high divide. It just the red tile and the blue tile will be randomly generated.
Okay, okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Next one. Yeah, good. The integration looks good. That's a lot of work to do combining everything together, so it's okay. Working upgrade menu. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, overall good progress the whole team for tech.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Um, I would say regarding yours one, to changing the theme actually it's fine. Okay, because if you found the things you like to do, yeah, you can go ahead. To work on some the theme we should like. But this one, I would say, as long you are able to catch up the progress. Okay, you have confidence on it. Yeah, you definitely can go for it. I'm okay. Regarding the modeling side, I have no questions. Pretty quite well done regarding the modeling. May I know any idea of the animation it will be?
So for the left one, it will floating. I don't know whether you can see inside the cloth. There's a core. And curious, can you zoom in? Yeah.
A
Zoom
bit,
in.
a bit small. I can't really
Oh,
see.
yeah. Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
able?
there's this glass
Yeah.
ball there.
Yeah, the glass ball, the core,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
like rotate a bit the animation, and the right side is like the skull is repairing, and it will floating around, and the wire will move around, and also there's a core inside the glass ball, the
Mhm.
pyramid. Yeah, it will float up and down, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay. How many more it will be?
Uh,
This count.
for now, this type of skull design should be these two first.
Mm-hmm.
The others haven't decided. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I will if since you haven't decided yet, I will say if can start to do on the environments first. Okay, don't go too deeper into it. Because a lot of things you haven't been confirmed, like post workflow, everything, the style, directions. It doesn't create. You haven't create a what that's called uh the benchmark for the game yet. Okay, so I will suggest you if can do a benchmark for a game, then everyone try to follow it lah. Okay, for you I think the modern is okay. I have no questions. Quite well, quite good job.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
okay, next one. Um, okay.
Hmm?
So is he will Kawe will create the idea, and you're going to model it, or this one is his own idea.
This one is his own idea. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is his own idea, and the right one is the model he make or just a concept.
Model he made. Yeah.
Okay, the scout is he make himself or he download.
He get art access from the online. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so next week we generate more idea and try to model it out. I will say, um, don't please set yourself how many idea do you need. Don't like generate more idea then I pick one of it. Don't do that. Like you just set how many this kind of like scout design you need. Then you just design based on the number required. Um, to save your time. Okay, otherwise you will just very enjoying to design the concept and very slow
Yeah.
to do that. Okay, because now I ask you also haven't give me a very solid number yet. Try to fix it. Try to fix a number and do within the number. Uh, to do those must have. After that, if you everything is complete, and you're able to put into engine and all the things is working, and then you only go and develop more to do those good to have lah. Uh, okay, next one. Um, Nazan,
Yes.
uh, you haven't do 3D yet, right? For yours?
No, sir.
First.
No, sir.
Okay. How long you spend to do this contract?
Probably half a day.
Half a day, okay. I believe you know your problem lah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week, don't show this kind of progress. Too less already.
Okay, sir.
It is help. Today is week 4. Is totally no benefit to your progress with this kind of update. Okay.
Yeah.
You wasted 1 week already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood.
I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. All right, so overall decent progress. All right, so now we will split ourselves up into our individual streams. Okay, so we can go to each stream for individual updates from the lecturers. Okay, so designers, I'll see you guys in the design stream. Thank you, guys.